Hi, and welcome to Mr. Garofalo's podcast. In this episode, we're looking at solving equations, worksheet G, problem number 10. This worksheet contains all equations that have fractional coefficients, and as we discussed in class today, there are a number of ways you could approach these types of problems. I'd like to remind you of a couple of the strategies that we discussed by doing this problem here. This is 1/5 x plus 3 equals 3/5 x minus 9. I'm just going to rewrite this problem out. So one thing we might want to consider is that we like these coefficients that are fractions, this 3/5 and 1/5. We'd like them to be integer numbers. That is, we'd like them to be non-fractions. Well, if we look at the denominators here, so you have a denominator of 5 and a denominator of 5. If we multiply both these fractions by 5, we'll be able to eliminate the fractional coefficient. So I'm going to go ahead and multiply each of these by 5. But I have to keep in mind, if I'm going to multiply two of the terms by 5, I've got to multiply the other terms by 5 as well. So essentially, I'm multiplying all four terms in this equation by 5. Here the 5's will cancel out, leaving us with 1x. 3 times 5 here will give us 15. Once again, the 5's cancel out, leaving us with 3x. And then negative 9 times 5 will give 45. So you can see we have a much easier resulting equation. We have x plus 15 equals 3x minus 45. Now we can solve using the operations and strategies that we know from earlier in the unit. Subtract x from both sides. We get 15 equals 2x plus minus 45. Add 45 to both sides. We get 60 equals 2x. And then divide by 2. So from this strategy, I find that we get a solution of x equals 30. So that's one option. Let's talk about some other options that might work for this problem. So again, I'm going to rewrite the problem. 1/5 x plus 3 equals 3/5 x minus 9. In this case, I'm going to use a strategy of getting the variable terms on both sides first. And since I have common denominators, I know I can add or subtract with these fractions. So I'm going to subtract 1/5 x from both sides, leaving me with 3 on the left, and 3/5 minus 1/5 would be 2/5 x minus 9 on the right-hand side. So I simply took 1/5 x and subtracted it from both sides, since I knew I had common denominators. Now I'm going to try and isolate this variable term here, it's 2/5 x, by adding 9 to both sides. That would give 12 equals 2/5 of x. Now once again, I still have a coefficient that is a fraction. In order to solve, we want our coefficient to say 1, like it does over here. So if we multiply by the reciprocal of 2/5, we can accomplish this goal. Now 2/5 times 5 halves, or 5 over 2, would give us 1x, because we'd end up with 2 times 5, which is 10, and 5 times 2, which is 10, and 10 over 10 is 1. Over on this side, we would have 5 times 12, which is 60, and 2 times 1, which is 2. It's 60 over 2, which is 30. We get the same solution as we had over here. So there's a couple of strategies. You might want to look to employ these to some of the problems on this worksheet. Hopefully this is helpful. Of course, you're selecting 4 problems to do a check on. So if you're doing a check for this one, you want to plug back 30 right into these 2 spots right here. Substitute for x. Make sure the equation comes out true when x is 30. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you in class.